In broadcasting today.
Hey, and welcome back here at Elmhurst College. We're going to throw it down to our on-field reporter, Defina Russell. She's got an interview going on for us. Looks like she's trying to get with one of the coaches. Let me look at my producer real quick. Are we get to throw it down to her for the interview? No, not yet. Well, how about real quick, you and me, Paul, we can go now? Okay, we're going down to her live now on the sideline right now, Defina.
Joes, Richard Petrowski, let me know what went well for your team during the first half.
There was a lot of things that went well. We're really excited. We're throwing the ball. My quarterback is doing exactly what I said at the pregame. He's throwing the ball like I told he was going to do. It's just that we have to make better plays. We have to make smarter plays. That's all we really have to do right now.
Okay, so let me know some of the major areas that you need to make adjustments in.
It's not really adjustments. It's just that we just have to make the play now. That's all it really is. There's no adjustments to it. We just have to be the players that I know we are and be athletes to make this play.
Awesome. Well, we're looking to coming back strong, having and closing out the game with an amazing second half.
Yes, I can't wait. We're gonna the score is gonna be the scoreboard is gonna be lighting up the second half. I can guarantee you that.
The scoreboard is going to be lit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That was, again, Defina Russell. Thank you so much for that on-sideline reporting. Paul, he sounded pretty upbeat.
Yes, he's saying it's going to be lighting up the scoreboard this half.
I'd really like to see that happen for him. One thing I will tell you, though, is we need to go over the penalties because that was a huge thorn in the side of St. Joe's.
Those penalties just absolutely destroyed the St. Joe offense. They lost, I believe, the 3 touchdowns they lost.
3 touchdown opportunities. I think we counted them up. They had 7.
7 correct.
Offensive penalties.
Correct.
Another side note real quick, folks. We want you to know that be on the lookout. Caleb Hayden, he may be hurt. And he might be playing in some considerable pain here in the second half.
Yes. So right after the first half ended, he went right to the sideline and was getting checked out by the team doctor. So keep an eye out for he might be limping or he might be playing a little differently than we saw him in the first half.
No, definitely. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. Folks, we want to welcome you again. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here. You are watching the Sportstown Chicago broadcast of the Leo Lions versus your St. Joe's Chargers. Current score right now, Leo Lions 13, St. Joe's Chargers 6. Could have been 7. But they missed an opportunity with a 2-point conversion. Looks like they're definitely aggressive. I will give them that, Paul. They are definitely moving the ball and making decisions aggressively.
They're a very aggressive team, man. I was actually looking at some highlights from previous games. They very rarely kick field goals. They went for 2 a majority of the time.
Majority of the time, yeah. And tonight, like I stated a couple minutes ago, we saw that fail. As we get ready here for the second half, big shout-out to the crew we got up here. We got my producer alongside me, representing Illinois Media School. Again, I mentioned Paul, myself, Ben. Down on the field, we have Ms. Defina Russell doing a great job as a sideline reporter. All the camera guys, too. Thanks so much for the work you guys are doing. This really means a lot to us and the viewers at home. We want to thank you for tuning into us tonight and joining us for this presentation of the Leo Lions versus your St. Joe's Chargers. Here we go. We're getting ready for the second half kickoff. It looks like St. Joe's is going to be kicking it off here to Leo. The Chargers are lining up, setting the ball on the tee. Ref gets everybody set up. Leo looks like they're ready to receive. Who we got there in the backfield? Who we got ready to receive there, Paul?
Back there we have Kashawn Douglas, and we have looks like Antoine Wheeler.
Because Kashawn's been a big name tonight. And here's the kick, and it is not that strong. He might be trying to avoid Kashawn. They catch it at the 30. He laterals it back. He goes up the sideline looking for some blockers. He's got him. He evades one tackle. He's going up the sideline again. He's got some more blockers. He's breaking it off, and he is going to score, ladies and gentlemen. He takes it to the house on a second half opening touchdown kickoff return. Kashawn Douglas has been an absolute Charger killer tonight, Paul.
He has the touchdown pass that was thrown, and now he has this kickoff return. That's 2 touchdowns for him, no flags on the field.
Pure, unadulterated speed. He just burst through the line, got some key blocks, and he took it all the way to the house on that.
And I would like to say a very smart play by Joshua Wilson when he got that ball, pitched it right back to him.
Didn't want to take it himself. He saw the opportunity for a big play, and he was very aware of Kashawn's power, and he gave it to him to take it all the way home. As we have Leo Lions here lining up for the extra point attempt, and St. Joe's has just got to be kicking themselves in the rear.
This is going to be, right now, St. Joe's is just not, their defense and their special teams have just not showed up.
And after the fire, here's the extra point attempt, and it is blocked, folks. It is blocked. That is the second extra point block we've seen of the game, and that keeps that in reach here for the St. Joe Chargers. They're going to need some offensive prowess here if they want to get back into it, though.
100%. Let's hope Caleb Hayden isn't too hurt, and let's see if he can help his offense and lead his team.
And you got to imagine that after the fire we saw Coach Petrosky have during that halftime interview by the lovely Defina Russell, that he's just got to be absolutely furious right now with what he just saw to start the second half.
Looking down at him right now, does not look like a happy camper.
Does not indeed, Paul. And here we have the Leo Lions here looking like they're getting set up for the kickoff. St. Joe's looks pretty much set up. Why don't you tell us who we got out there right now, Paul?
We have Amir Berge and Ryan Flowers.
Ryan Flowers. We're going to see if these guys can make some magic happen. I'm sure they'd love to return the favor with a kickoff return of their own. They're going to need some key blocking up front, though, for that to happen.
And then Desmond McPhail is also back there as well. So they got 3 possible returners.
That's a name, Desmond McPhail. We've poked some fun at his name, but folks, he has had a tough night tonight. He's had some opportunities slip right through his fingers, literally, and I'm sure he wants to make up for that with some big plays of his own. It's senior night. We're here at Elmhurst College. Thanks again for hosting the game. And we are about to get the second kickoff of the second half after Leo Lions made a score on the kickoff return for a touchdown. Here's the kick by Leo. It is going to be taken at the 15-yard line. He moves up. He has some blockers. He stumbles. Looks like he's making a cut. He's going backwards. Here he comes whipping around the sideline. He's at the 30. He's busting through, and he is brought down, looks like at the 33, 34-yard line. Malik Mason, folks, the monster of a man you saw catch that and return it upfield. He may be big, Paul, but he is not slow.
No, and it's very good agility for someone his size, especially someone that is 6'5", 220, and only a junior.
I got to feel that besides Caleb, he's been probably the only one out there on offense making some big noise, although we have had some noise as well from Zachary Ford. We might see that as well. Caleb lines up here in the shotgun. He has 1 down low, 3 up top. Looks like he's going to be probably passing it as he drops back in the pocket. He's feeling the pressure. He rolls out near sideline. He's got to get rid of it, folks. He breaks the tackle, moving up, and he got some positive yardage out of that at least, folks. Is there going to be a flag on that? That was a late hit. He was out of bounds.
Coach Petrosky is not happy with the no call.
Absolutely livid right now in the face of the refs. That should have been a late hit, Paul. That kid was clearly out of bounds and
100%.
going even further out of bounds.
Actually, he ran into some of the St. Joseph defensive players.
No, yeah, he definitely should have gotten a flag for that, but the game goes on. Refs let one slide by, and the coach is not too happy about it. Here we go, shotgun out of the snap, lazy snap. Caleb drops back in the pocket. He's looking around for some help. Again, he feels the pressure, and he just gets rid of it. He is not getting any receiving help we see here on this opening drive for the St. Joe Chargers.
His offensive line is not helping him either.
Not at all, Paul, not at all. No, go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
The offensive line needs to step up. This defense, the top 7 of the defense right now is just running through that offense.
Front 7 for the defense. They are just obliterating that offensive line tonight. And you may even, in a situation like this, Paul, you may even have to bring in a couple tight ends as extra blockers to defend this kid, because Caleb can only run so much, and as we alluded to before, he might be playing on a bum ankle now.
He does not look as his speed does not look
Here's
changed.
the snap to Caleb. Caleb drops back in the pocket again, feeling pressure. However, he's going to go downfield. Looks like he has Malik, and he is picked off, and he is moving up the sideline, and he is marked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Looks like he stepped out of bounds, and we got lucky with a break there by him going out of bounds. He's picked off by Delvin Flakes, everybody. Delvin Flakes. And that pass ball just floated up there.
Was not a very good throw. It looks like he felt the pressure. He was just trying to get rid of it, did not throw it hard enough, did not throw far enough.
Completely agreed. And if he's as we look at it again, that safety just went up and got it. If he's playing on a bum ankle, then he's definitely losing velocity and power on that throw.
Looking at him at the sideline right now, he did not look happy. Looks like may have been a miscommunication.
Could have been as well. It looked like, as we watched that replay, it looked like the receiver did not turn around nearly in time to get that pass. Defense lines up. Leo in the shotgun. Leo takes the snap, and it's a run out the backfield. He's got blockers. He turns upfield, and he's taken down just short of the first down, and that was Antoine Jr. It looks like he is feeling a little bit better after looking like he might be banged up in the first half. And that, I believe, I'm sorry, I stumbled on that, is Antoine Wheeler Jr. Antoine Wheeler. Cool whip. And here we go. Looks like the defense might be a little confused as to what's going on. That middle linebacker is trying to take control and let them know what plays they're going to run as Leo comes out of the huddle. They set up with 2 receivers down low, 1 up top, and 2 running back set behind the quarterback.
Caleb Hayden right now looks like he's sitting on the bench. He looks like he's actually holding his gut.
I'd be feeling a little sick too myself if I was having a night like tonight. They were supposed to blow these guys out, and instead they are losing. Drops back in the pocket. He's feeling the pressure, and he evades a couple tackles, and it looks like he's going to throw it downfield, and he gets rid of it in time before being dragged to the ground. Way to get rid of the ball before being sacked, Paul.
Very smart. That's some veteran leadership right there, and that's very knowledgeable thoughts right there by a very knowledgeable junior playing starting quarterback. He obviously had some experience, so he knew what to do, get rid of that ball. And another example of the St. Joseph breaking through. The defensive line breaking through right now of the offensive line. So it looks like they're lining up for another play. All right, so they're lining up and take back the ball.
And they're lining up, it looks like, for the 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, and we have the shotgun set. He takes the snap. Good snap. Drops back in the pocket. Feels the pressure. He's letting it go downfield. Who's he got one-on-one coverage? And it is off his fingertips and incomplete, just out of the reach of Deshaun Harris, it looks like, just off of his fingertips. He made a diving attempt, folks.
Looks like just barely overthrown.
As we watch this play again, we see good pocket presence by the quarterback. He gets smacked, folks, right after that throw. He gets absolutely demolished. And now they're looking at a 4th and 5 situation. They brought the punt team onto the field. Who do we have receiving back there, receiving the punt back there, Paul?
We're going to have Amir Berge.
Amir Berge again. Berge, we're not quite sure. We stumble that name, and there's family members here, so we do apologize. So here we go. Looks like they're lined up. Looks like they're going to try and get a block on this kid again. And here we go. Here's the snap. Actually, break through the line. It is a low line drive punt. Amir chases it. He looks like he's going to let it go, and he plays the smart play on that. No, nice job knowing not to touch it. And that was kicked by, that was Desmond McPhail in the backfield. I apologize. Desmond McPhail in the backfield. He made a smart play back there, Paul, by knowing not to touch it.
He remembered from the beginning or first half when he picked up that one.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that was a risky play. In the first half, he did pick up a low bouncing punt and somehow miraculously got away with it unscathed. Here, he made the smart decision just to let it bounce. But I say that again, folks, but St. Joe's is pinned deep in their own territory. Looks like they've got the ball on their own 6-yard line. Caleb Haney's going to, Caleb Haney. Goes back to my NFL prowess. Caleb's going to line up in the pocket. Oh, and it's a muffed snap. It's in the back of the end zone. That's going to be a safety, folks. That's going to be a safety. It's because I called him Caleb Haney. That's why that happened. That is just a terrible snap, Paul.
Both teams have dealt with some bad snaps, but St. Joseph just had the brunt of the bad snaps tonight.
Caleb Hayden is just absolutely beside himself. He did all he could with that, just run out of the back of the end zone. Give up 2 rather than give up 6. But that offensive line is getting ripped a new one right now by their offensive coordinator and head coach, Richard Petrosky. He is furious. And we look at the score now, folks, and it's become a bit of a blowout. 21-6 in favor of the Leo Lions. And don't forget, with a safety, folks, Leo's going to get the ball right back. Looks like the punter's out in the field for St. Joe's. They're going to punt it, and the Leo Lions will be receiving that punt. And it looks like we have Kashawn Douglas. He's back there to try and make some magic happen again. This kid be on the lookout for this kid in the future. He is fast and he is strong, and he knows how to move with the ball and to go up and get the ball as well. Paul, any change to your keys of the game after seeing this defensive letdown tonight?
Yes, the center. The center needs to get those snaps set.
And we've seen that all game, actually,
Yes.
Paul. We've seen that those snaps be a little wobbly, be a little high left, high right, and a little low. And now we just see that get knocked completely out of the back of the end zone. Here is the punt, and it's going to go to about the 40-yard line. It bounces up. Are they going to leave it and touch it? Oh, Keyshawn has it. He takes it up the far sideline. He's got some blockers, and he's got some speed. And he's going to try and turn it upfield. He evades one tackle, but he's taken down at the 46, 47-yard line.
Well, Keyshawn Douglas is just an amazing returner.
He is just the presence of mind of where to cut that ball and where to take it after that. He started off on our side of the field, and he moved completely to the other side and made some magic happen off that punt. He got about an 8-yard punt return on something that looked like that nothing would happen.
6'2", 185.
That's a big kid, and is he a senior as well, Paul?
Yes, he is.
He is. So he's going to be a little bit smaller on the collegiate level, but he could still get the job done in some certain scenarios. As St. John's defense looks to finally make a stop, we have Leo Lyons lining up, looks like shotgun set again. 3 bunched receivers, and they're going to take a handoff to the near sideline. He's running backwards, but he comes upfield, and there's a flag in the backfield as well. Multiple flags.
3
he's
flags.
taken down at the 50-yard line. I see 50. Oh, we have a player down as well. My goodness, that player looks like he got laid out. And we have the coaching staff coming out to look at him as he's being waved on by Malik is waving for the trainer and coaching staff. Paul, you're trying to get my attention on something here. What were you mentioning me on right there?
That run was by Anton Wheeler Jr. once again.
Anton Wheeler Jr. So it looks like Anton Wheeler, making a surprise return from that injury, is becoming the center of the focus of the running game. But right now we're going to focus on this player down. We're going to see if we can see who's down there. It looks like it's Kyle Johnston. I say again, Kyle Johnston. He's a senior and an offensive defensive lineman. He's a big kid, folks. He is coming in at 6 foot 215. He's no small kid, and he was part of that holding penalty that we saw the multiple flags come in on as he's being helped up and off the field. He's off the field under his own accord, and it looks like he is going back into the huddle. Oh, nope, he's headed toward the sideline. Yes, he's headed toward the sideline, get himself a breather, maybe some Gatorade, and hopefully he's not too injured.
And I do believe if the clock is stopped like that and people do come off, he does have to come off for at least one play.
Yeah, you are correct on that, Paul. As we saw Coach Petrosky have a word with number 24 there. Who is that? That is Gavin Murray. Looks like he had a bit of one-on-one word with him. I believe he's his middle linebacker, and so would be the captain of the defense out here tonight. As it looks like he's lining up at defensive end, actually. And here we go. Here's the snap by Leo, and they run it again, and he's taken down in the backfield. Good presence by the defense to wrap him up and not let him get anything going, Paul.
There we go. That could have been the Gavin Murray leading his team there,
Yeah,
telling
right
him exactly
there.
what to do.
He had a word from his coach, and he took it to him. Paul, as we look back on this, we just see the defense collapse completely on Antoine Wheeler Jr. and not let him get anything that time.
No, actually, Gavin Murray stopped one of because there was a hole there, and then he stuck his arm out and made him go around, and that what helped him
Absolutely.
lose some yards.
I wish we had a drawing pad so you could draw that on the screen for our viewers at home to see, but maybe next time the budget won't be so tight. So stare over at my producer awkwardly. Awkward silence. And we go back to the field, folks. We're in a shotgun set. Leo here on offense. They take the snap, and it looks like a bit of a muff snap, but he has control of it. He rolls out of the pocket. He's looking for anybody. Looks like he's throwing to Keshawn. And did he get it? He got it. Great hands. This kid is going to be somebody, and I am glad I get to call him here tonight.
And,
Keyshawn Douglas, again, with a tiptoe sideline catch, helps get his team some positive yardage. But they're still looking at a 3rd and 16, Paul.
Yeah. But and also that was very good mobility out Leo Catholic quarterback, Darrell Quesley Parr.
Can you tell us a little bit about him, Paul, size?
Oh, size-wise, he is 5'10", 170, so he's a smaller quarterback.
He's a smaller quarterback. Hey, look at Russell Wilson in the NFL. Nobody wanted to draft him, and he's now a top-tier quarterback in a great organization up there in Seattle. But let's go back down to the field right now. We have Leo coming out of the huddle. Looks like St. Joe's is set, and they are ready to try and make a stop here. Get a stop. That has got to be what's running through the mind right now of Coach Petrosky. Get a stop. and bring that offense back out into the field and make up for that safety. Here's the snap, and it's a handoff again to Antoine Wheeler Jr. He cuts up the field with a mean stiff arm, but he's brought down at the 48-yard line. Paul, who's he brought down by?
He's brought down by Meheki Eland.
Eland, okay, good. That was a nice wrap-up tackle we saw there from the defense.
And Meheki Eland is 6'1", 200 pounds, and a sophomore.
A sophomore, so a young kid. Looking out here to make a name for himself and get some experience here on the varsity squad. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him as a captain in the future years to come.
I agree, and I like how he wrapped up.
Now, what we got going on here, Paul, who we have switching out there as the kick returner, as the punt returner, rather?
Looks like we're going to get Amar Berge in there instead of McPhail.
Probably a smart choice by the coach, see what Berge can do. We've had McPhail get a couple attempts at returns and made some questionable decisions at that. Let's see what Berge can do here with this punt that's about to happen. And we have both teams lined up. And here is the snap, and it's a high snap. Punter has it, gives it a good punt.
What a
Very
punt.
beautiful punt. Berge's backpedaling, and he doesn't even want to touch it. That ball is going to roll all the way to the 7-yard line, 7 or 6-yard line. And Paul, what did you see right there on that play?
That was actually punted by Antoine Wheeler Jr., the running back.
Is there anything he cannot do, Paul? I heard he's a monster in the kitchen as well. As we go onto the field and we look at the St. Joe Chargers getting ready to, again, they are pinned deep. And you got to figure they got to be asking themselves, special teams, help me out.
Exactly. Their defense have been holding, but they've let up a little too much yardage in that punt. Those punts have just pinned them too deep in their own zone.
As we see Caleb line up in the shotgun set, he's got 2 up top, 2 down low, 1 running back behind him. And here's the snap, and he's dropping back to pass. He's feeling the pressure. He rolls out far side, and he looks like he has a receiver. And the receiver makes the catch, and he's marked down by contact at the 19-yard line. And that should be good enough for a first down. And it looks like Leo has a player down now, the trainers and coaching staff coming out. That was a catch by Ryan Flowers, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Flowers. And we're going to see who we have down on the field here. Paul, any idea who we got down there injured?
Definitely one of the Leo Catholic players, but I cannot see which one specifically.
Captain Obvious strikes again. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we're just having fun up here, folks. We hope you're having fun listening to us. We're here live with watching the Leo Lions versus the St. Joe's Chargers here at Elmhurst College. Big shout out to Sportstown Chicago and Illinois Media School. Hey, if you want a career in broadcasting, sports media, radio, music, come on down to Illinois Media School. They'll set you up, and they have available financial aid, and they'll get the job going for you, and they'll get you started in the career of your dream here in broadcasting and radio and television. As we look back down into the field, we are going to keep going with it. They still have, we really hope this kid's okay. He looks like he's in bad shape, Paul.
He's being helped off the field, and it does not look like he can put pressure on one of those legs. That does not look good for him.
He may be just a little woozy, too, because if you saw on that play, he attempted an interception, and that didn't look like it went through very well as the receiver was able to come over the top and get the ball. But here we have Leo, Leo Lions are lined up for defense as we have the St. Joe's Chargers here for offense. Caleb in the shotgun set, 2 up top, 2 down low, 1 in the backfield. He calls for the ball. Good snap finally. He's dropping back. He feels the pressure. He's dropping back again. You got to get rid of the ball, kid. And he looks for, and nobody's open, and he throws up a duck. And nobody could hope to catch that as Caleb is hit. And you got to figure that leadership mantle is just weighing down heavy because he's trying to make magic happen with nothing. Paul, walk us through what you see here.
Well, the offensive line just collapses, and then right as he throws it, he just gets demolished.
Absolutely mollywopped by that linebacker defensive end. So Leo's looking at 2nd and 10. Chargers looking to make some magic happen. Paul, tell me what you want to see here.
Well, I have an update on that injury that we just saw, and it was Rashad Woods.
Rashad Woods, okay. Here we go. Caleb in the shotgun yet again. I think every play tonight's been from the shotgun. Caleb takes the snap. It's a good snap. He's dropping back in the pocket. Looks like he's going deep. Who's he got? And it's a one-handed catch. Beautiful catch, and he's taken out of bounds. Big gain finally. Big gain. And we have been waiting to see that all night. Paul, that was just probably the spark they were looking for.
That could definitely help them with the next upcoming offensive plays. Huge spark.
First down Chargers, and it feels like it's been a while since I've said that. And it looks like that catch was by Malik again. Malik Mason, that monster of a man, making another big catch for his team. Shotgun set. Here comes Zachary across the middle. Caleb calls for it, and it's a run play up the middle. Speedy little back. He bounces off a tackle, and he's dragged down to the backfield. Looks like he's going to get hit for a loss of 1 or 2 on that play.
Looks like he tried to find a hole in the middle of the field, did not find it.
So many things I could say with that, but I choose not to. That was a valiant effort. Valiant effort by the running back. Walk us through the running back real quick. What's his size, and would you have him starting at running back if you had the choice?
The running back that we just saw?
Yes.
I feel like he was doing very good tonight. I believe that was the running back there was Amar Berge, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha. Here's the run again up the middle. He dodges the tackle. Looks like the tackler's going to push him forward. Looks like a gain of about 4 or 5. So chunks of yardage are coming, but they definitely don't want to be whittling the clock away, even though it's only the third quarter. You still want to go downfield. As we look at the play being broadcasted again, we see him get a bit of a push, and the tackler's pushing forward for about a gain of 5.
The running back actually was Zion Timms.
Zion Timms. Okay, we're looking at 3rd and 5. Caleb communicating with his running back in the backfield. Lifts the leg. Here comes Zachary to the backfield as well, crossing back to the other side. Here comes Caleb with the snap. High snap. He's feeling the pressure again. He's got to get rid of the ball, and he throws up a duck. Who's going to have it? Zachary, and he defends the interception attempt. That would have been an easy pick for Leo Lyons, as Caleb just gets whacked again. No pocket protection whatsoever.
That offensive line has been collapsing on almost every play we've seen now, and look there. Zach Ford had to turn into the defender for a moment there.
He had to get the other player away from the ball, and he got lucky because there were 2 defenders in the area on that play. Well, a good offensive run by the Chargers is snuffed out. Here we go. It's 4th and 5, and here comes the punt team. Now, Paul, do you think there could be some trickery involved here?
The Chargers have not had much trickery, but right now, they're most likely willing to try anything.
I believe so as well. I think now's the time to do it. Try and catch them while they're sleeping. Here's the lazy punt, and it's still, and he basically punts it straight up in the air, folks. That was, if there was a vertical angle to that, it would be 90 degrees, because that's going to be Leo Lyons' ball at the Chargers' 47-yard line. And that is not good.
Not a very good punt. That went 10 yards, not even 10 yards. It actually bounced backwards.
And you know what, Paul? I'm going to allude to a point here. Coach Petrosky said that the scoreboard was going to be lighting up second half, and I don't think he meant his team.
No.
Not at all. Here we go. We go back down to the field, and we have the Leo Lions lining up here. They are in beautiful field positions. Chargers defense looking a little bit gassed, but they're going to hopefully get the job done. Looks like a shotgun set again. 3 backs, 1 wide out here at the bottom of the screen. And there's the handoff, and he's moving upfield, and he's met by a conflagration of Charger defenders, and that was Dejon Maris. It looks like Dejon Maris had a gain probably of about 1 or 2. As we look at this play again, he really just gets stuffed here on the inside.
Yeah, there was that time the line showed up and the defense collapsed the pressure, and we do have an injured player on the field.
We have another injured player. Yeah, it looks like he's grasping his knee. That's never something you want to see, especially on the football field. Those linemen don't get enough credit for how much of a pounding they take on the interior.
No.
They just actually get bashed. It looks like he's going to get up under his own power, and he is going to be limping off the field. That's Gavin Murray, actually. The Coach Petrosky had a word with him before their stoppage in their last set, and he's limping around a little bit. We're going to see if he's going to come back into the game. I believe, as Paul said earlier, he's going to have to sit out 1 play, though.
Yes.
He's a little bit gimpy, but he looks fired up.
He just had another word with Coach Petrosky.
Yep.
Probably asking him if he was okay, and he seems okay.
That kid probably would say anything to stay in this game. They want to get back into it, and they want to come back from this deficit that they're facing right now. As Leo Lions line up, that's a lot of L's in that, line up in the shotgun, 2-back set. Here's the snap, and it's a handoff again, and he runs up and is stuffed again he is just meeting all kinds of resistance now is Wheeler Jr. He's not making the explosiveness that we saw earlier, and maybe the defense is finally catching on to him, Paul.
Might be. Because after a while, once you keep running and running, the defense will eventually catch up and figure out how to stop them.
But you know what? At the end of the day, they might just be baiting them like they did in the first quarter, because don't forget, they got Mr. Douglas waiting to make some magic happen.
Very true. And I have not seen Keyshawn Douglas come off the field at all. Not
Yet.
even during defense.
No,
I
you are
believe he's on the
correct.
field as well.
I believe he is a safety when he plays defense, safety or defensive back. Here we go. Leo Lyons in the shotgun yet again. 2-back set. And we have a false start on the offense. There's some good magic happening in the favor of your St. Joe's Chargers. And that's going to push Leo Lyons back 5 yards and make it 3rd and 10 as opposed to 3rd and 11, I'm sorry. 3rd and 11 as opposed to 3rd and 6.
That was their second false start penalty of the game.
And how many offensive penalties total do the Leo Lions have? Do we know that off the top of our heads?
I believe they 4.
4 to 7, or actually more than 7 now. Maybe
But they do have 2. They do have a defensive penalty.
that is correct as well. They do. I believe it was a hands to the face or face mask or something of the sort.
Correct.
Here's the snap out of the shotgun. Leo Lions break. Pocket presence, and that ball is caught. And he makes a move, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line. And that was, Paul, what was the name of that receiver again?
Deshaun Harris.
Deshaun Harris making up for the absence of Keyshawn Douglas on that play. And we're going to watch this again from a different angle here than we saw. And we see go up high for the ball, cut around an outside defender, and finally get brought down and brings him a fresh set of downs as well.
That was huge, especially on right after the penalty. That's something they needed.
That's definitely something they needed to keep this drive alive. That defense has got to be so tired. Leo Lions get ready for the snap. Shotgun set, 2 backs, 3 wide receivers. And it's going to be a handoff again to Wheeler Jr., it looks like, and he's brought down. Looks like possibly a gain of 8, if not 10. Keep it, and they are just pounding that ball away. And it appears that their strategy of we're going to run it up the gut and then give it to this receiver, you try and stop him, is working very effectively.
St. Joseph cannot find a stop.
They absolutely can't. That front 7 has to be absolutely gassed tonight.
And Gavin Murray is back on the field. Looks like he is okay.
Hopefully so. Hopefully he'll be able to play through whatever was bugging him that brought him down in the first place. Here come the Leo Lions. Shotgun set, 1 running back, 4 receivers. We see quarterback drop back. Looks like an option play, and he's got room, folks. He's going along the outside. He jukes, makes a defender miss, and he's out at the far sideline. Looks like a gain. Looks like he's out at around the 15, 16-yard line, and they are in the red zone once again. And that was Deshaun Quinsley Jr. Look at the movement he has and the speed. And the juke move at the end, looks like somebody in Madden pressed the right trigger on that one because he just juked the defender really, really well.
Yes, he did. Might have been, that juke move might have been a little late. Might have got outside with that juke, out of bounds with the juke move. But nonetheless, it did help him gain a yard or two.
It definitely helped him evade some contact on that. And as a quarterback, especially at his size, you do not want to be taking too many hits.
No, you definitely, with a quarterback, you definitely want to protect him.
Definitely, absolutely. That is your star player for all. Well, in this case, they have multiple star players that we just weren't aware of. Here's the drop back in the pocket. He's got some good pocket protection. He rolls outside and he's thrown to the end zone. What we have here? We have a pick, and it's dropped. It is dropped. That was an easy pick 6 opportunity for the Chargers, and that was Ryan Flowers with that missed opportunity. We're going to watch this again, and it's just going to bounce right off of his hands. And we hit him right between the numbers, rather, and he was clearly, Zion Timms, he was clearly thinking about what to do after the catch before he even made the catch.
Might have got some of that popcorn from the first half of McPhail.
You think McPhail sharing it?
Maybe.
Clearly, this whole team's dropping balls left and right, folks. It is crazy. And here we go with the snap out of the shotgun set. Drops back, good pocket protection. He's going for the end zone again. And here's the catch. It's a catch, folks. That is a touchdown. That is by Deshaun Anderson. That is a big receiver, and he just out-muscled the defenders on that one and said, give me that. I want my 6.
I don't think that was a 6'6", 220 junior there.
Let's watch this again, and let's just see how he just outstrengths the defense. He says, give me that. That's mine. Let me take it to the house. I'm going to put it away for safekeeping. And you guys are taking an L tonight because, folks, at the rate this is going, oh, never mind, folks. We got a holding penalty. That negated that beautiful catch. And the Chargers have gotten lucky time and time again tonight. I tell you what.
Both teams have struggled with some offensive holding penalties on big plays.
Do you think the magnitude of senior night's kind of getting to them?
Might be.
Might be. They're just making simple mistakes. So we're looking at 2nd and 25 now. Leo Lions are backed up to their own 41-yard line. And they got to be a little bit demoralized after that. But first half, we saw them take huge penalties and still make efforts to go to the house. So we'll see what they try and do. Looks like they've got a 3-receiver set. 4, actually, 3 up top, and we have a flag.
Another flag.
We have too many men on the field, looks like. That's what it looks like. So they're going to probably drop back here to, that's a loss of, no, it's not. I'm sorry. That's going to be, looks like 3rd and 30. That flag's still laying on the field.
Miscommunication between the refs.
A little bit. Illegal substitution is the call, and that's going to back them up to the 46-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 30, although I would not say get comfortable because 2nd and 30, although I wouldn't say don't get comfortable because look at all that open space for Keyshawn Douglas to do his thing.
And he is all alone at the bottom. Look at the bottom.
And can we
moving up top?
He is moving up top. It looks like he's got one-on-one coverage. And it looks like Jesse McDonald's going to be covering him, so let's keep an eye out for that as well. Shotgun set, 2 backs, 1 splits out as a wide receiver. And here's the snap, and it's going to be an option to the right. We have a flag on the play. They're still running it, though, and it's Wheeler Jr. shoved out of bounds. And there's a flag. That's a late hit, and we got some action going on, folks. We got some action. Far sideline, looks like some shoving. There's going to be some ejections after this one. Boy, oh boy, you cannot be pleased if you're the Chargers at getting muffed around in your own house. And it is getting bad out there, folks.
Looks like the Charger coaches are trying to keep their own players.
Then we got everybody right. We got parents rushing onto the field. We got somebody dropped everything in their life here on the near sideline.
Somebody just dropped the hot dog.
Yeah, looks like they're just mass confusion, starting to get separated back out over there as the players are coming off.
Oh,
we're going to see some hefty penalties here in a minute, Paul. I tell you what. Everybody appears to be okay. It started all with a late hit.
yes.
That kid was tagged out of bounds. Absolutely.
That could have been retaliation for the missed late hit earlier in this game.
Yeah, football players do not forget. That you are absolutely right on that, Paul. They do not forget courses of events during the game. And Leo Lions are being held back now as we get some separation. The Chargers players are starting to come back, starting to separate. Looks like there's still some action going on over there on the far sideline.
Coach Petrowski, the minute he saw that, he was all the way back at the 20 and he rushed over there.
Yeah, he made sure he was immediately over there. You got to figure looks like some Leo Lions fans might have been involved in that as well. That's their bleacher section over there. We see some activity out behind that. Definitely started with the players, though. That late hit's what did it. Some extracurricular activities at the end of that play. So, but get ready, folks. You're going to see some multiple penalties on each side, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some ejections. Never want to see kids act like this. A high school game, sportsmanship's in play. You never want to see anybody act out of pocket. And the Chargers are actually using this to motivate their fans. Perhaps they should look at the scoreboard and use that to motivate themselves.
Yes.
But they're getting fired up. We'll see if this lights a fire beneath them. The refs have a little bit of a conference going on now at the center of the field talking about what they saw, what happened, and what are going to be the ramifications of activities like this. Now, Paul, you're fresh out of high school, so you're probably a little bit more familiar with high school football than me. In a situation like this, what would you typically see as punishment or judgment from the referees?
Definitely see at least an ejection, probably one for each team, because obviously there was at least a fight. So the two that started the fight will most likely definitely be ejected. You're going to get a late hit call. And there was already, I believe, a holding call as well at the beginning of the play.
Yeah, at the beginning of the play, there was a holding. I do believe that the player that was tagged to the late hit, and there we see Mr. Gavin Murray getting the crowd fired up.
The coaches are not happy about it.
Coaches are not happy about it, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta take the team on your shoulders here and get the fans into it, and also get back into it mentally yourself, and you want to get that energy flowing again.
It might have been Gavin Murray that started. It looked like the coaches are talking to him a little bit.
He might have been the one with the late hit. I didn't see who got. I understand the player that was running the ball got tagged out of bounds, but I didn't see who put the hit on him. And definitely there was some action on the opposite sideline to the player that committed that offense. It might have been Gavin. It might not have been. I didn't get a chance to see who it was. And it looks like the refs are talking to both the coaches here, probably letting them know what's going to happen here. Let them know what's the punishment's going to be. And you can be most assured that you're going to see some players have to go sit back in the locker room or behind the bleachers here for the rest of this game.
The Leo head coach, it looked like he thought, and he did not. He shook his head a little bit ago. He did not look happy.
He's probably fighting for whatever player they're telling him that they're passing judgment on to stay in the game. But you know what? If you can't control your kids, then they're going to have to face the ramifications for their actions themselves. But thanks again for joining us here, folks. Hope you're enjoying the action. We're here live on Sportstown Chicago here at Elmhurst College watching the Leo Lions against the St. Joe's Chargers. Coaches shake hands now after the meeting of the minds here at the center of the field, and we have the referee putting out the penalties.
Substitution, right hit.
Multiple personal fouls on both sides, offsetting penalties. And as you can hear in the background, these fans are not happy with it. And there might not be any ejections. I didn't see any motion for ejections.
Neither did I. Looked like the coaches were able to convince the refs.
They got to be feeling pretty lucky right now, but I'd be wary of St. Joe's because they look fired up down there right now. They look focused. I hadn't seen them this focused since the beginning of the game, quite honestly.
Looks like the Leo coach is all the way back there.
Petrowski's getting his players in the game. He's getting his he's getting his players in a huddle here down below us, and we see him talking to him very, very animated, very fired up. Probably telling him, do not make stupid mistakes.
Looked like Zach Ford is eyeing someone on the Leo. Zach Ford from St. Joseph's was eyeing somebody on the Leo bench over there.
I did see that as well. We may have to be aware of some. We may see some mean hits here coming along here in the future moments of this game.
Like you said, football players do not forget.
They do not. It doesn't matter what level they're on. They remember in action, and they remember the reaction as well. And St. Joe's Chargers getting back out in the field. They are getting set back up in their defensive formation. Still 2nd and 30. Again, St. Joe's 6, Leo Lions 21. Leo's ball, 2nd and 30, third quarter. We got about 1:17 left. And here we go. Here's the first play since that mix-up on the far sideline.
All right.
And I'd say that was probably about a good 5-10 minute break we had of action there. It looks like they're shaking hands, so some people are trying to make nice again, but that may not carry over to the rest of the team.
No. Definitely going to be some players that will not forget and will not be happy with the other team.
Leo Lions setting the shotgun formation. Looks like there might be some confusion as to what play they're running. I see 4 bunched receivers on the far line. They can't get themselves figured out. We got one-on-one coverage here at the bottom between that massive receiver.
Looks like a penalty.
Looks like another flag as well.
Timeout.
Timeout for Leo Lions. Let's take a look. Who was that we had at the bottom? They probably did the smart thing because they had Deshaun Anderson one-on-one with a very small back here at the bottom of the field, bottom of your screen.
Oh, yeah.
And that would not have boded well on a deep play because we just saw it. It was negated by a penalty, but that kid went up and took a ball away from a defender and said, give me that.
Yes, he did. That was earlier in the game with one of the touchdown passes.
I believe it was negated by a hold.
Yes,
I believe.
it was.
That was on this drive. That's what pushed them back to this 2nd and 30 situation. So, folks, if you're watching, hope you're enjoying the action so far. It's been my pleasure. I know it's been Paul's pleasure as well to bring this game. Also, pleasure hearing from Defina Russell. She's over next to us right now, doing a great job sideline reporting. She did a beautiful job earlier. And we're going to continue on with the action here. Looks like the penalty got settled out. Or excuse me, the timeout. Got everything figured out. Leo Lions look set and ready. You hear the crowd fired up. There's a shotgun. Here's a pass, or excuse me, a handoff to Wheeler Jr., and he is swallowed up in the middle of the field. He is going nowhere. He brought it up to roughly about the 50, and that was it.
Looked like St. Joseph's got fired up after that little skirmish over there, and looked like they're fired up.
And they definitely needed to, Paul. They needed something to light a fire under their rear end, as the saying goes.
The fans are fired up, team's fired up. This could definitely be a great fourth quarter coming in.
This could be you're absolutely right. We got about 9 seconds left in the third quarter. This could be a great fourth that we got. We need the Leo Lions offense to get off the field. This defense needs a stop. And here we are at the end of the third quarter. It is the Leo Lions 21, your St. Joe's Chargers 6. We go into the fourth quarter, folks, 3rd and 30, and we'll be back here in a few.
What originally brought me to the Illinois Media School was my love for sports radio. In high school, I became a huge 670 The Score fan and wanted to be part of sports radio. So after trying a couple other things and I'm not really being what I wanted to do, I found my passion for media and especially sports radio at the Illinois Media School. What I enjoy is finding like-minded people like myself that have a passion for the media industry and are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals and be what they want to be in this industry. And that's what I like about the students you continue to see at the Illinois Media School. A lot of talent, a lot of drive, and that pushes you to be better as well as making everybody's work better on top of that. My name's Rick Camp.
All right, folks, we are back here. Leo Lions versus St. Joe's Chargers. Start of the fourth quarter. Leo Lions in a bit of a nasty situation here. Third and 30, and they are facing a very threatening situation here where they could get even pushed back even more, Paul. They're hoping to make some positive gains here, but it's not looking too good for them here at this current moment on this current drive.
Especially at a 3rd and 30, they're definitely going to have to go to a deep pass, probably to Douglas.
I would say Douglas, and he is sacked. He is swallowed up. Absolutely demolished. And you know what? This St. Joe's defense is fired up. They are playing like they should have been playing the entire game. They're trying to get these Leo Lions off the field and get the offense for St. Joe's back in rhythm.
There we go. That's one of my keys to the game, that D-line started showing up.
So here we go. It's going to be 4th and more than 30 because that was a sack. Looks like he lost about 5 yards on that, 5 or 6 yards. But anywho, 4th down. Why don't you say, is that Zachary Ford we got in the backfield or waiting to receive this punt?
Yes, it is.
Zachary Ford, let's see, it's their 3rd new punt returner. Let's see what he can do. And who do we have punting? Is that Wheeler Jr. again punting there, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, well, he's got a leg on him. We've seen that earlier.
Probably from all the running he does, probably got some strong legs.
He never skips leg day, folks. Never skips leg day. And here's the punt, and it is
not a good
we
punt.
Spoke too soon. That ball is not going anywhere. It's going to bounce around and out at the 42-yard line of St. Joe's. So St. Joe's finally has some good territory, and he's finally got some good territory going on, and they're hoping to make some magic happen. Caleb Hayden, he needs to make something happen on this drive. He needs to get the ball downfield, get it to his receivers, and if he can't do that, then he needs to do it with his legs. And we saw him a little tender on the ankle after halftime. We're hoping that's feeling better for him and he can get that mobility that we saw at the beginning of the game back into play.
Yeah, like you were saying, hopefully sorry.
No, you're good.
The momentum from the defense was going to transition over to the offense.
We hope that. And these players play both sides of the ball, too, so we know they're fired up. Here we go. Caleb out of the shotgun snap. He hands it up the middle. And that boy takes a hit and keeps on going. Tell us about that running back there, Paul.
Well, he just found a nice little hole right down the middle. Oh, running that was Amir Berge, I believe.
Looked like Amir Berge. And we're going to look at that play again. And he takes the snap and just runs it up the gut, takes a hit, and he keeps on going. That was Berge indeed. Here we go, a handoff again to Berge. Looks like he's coming up the near sideline. He's crossed the 50, and he's pushed out of bounds, tackled out of bounds, actually, at the 45-yard line. And there we go again. No late hit call penalty.
Looks like number 45 on Leo Catholic may have hurt himself on that tackle there.
As we watch Berge run up the field, that kid's got some good speed, and he is, I'm sorry, folks, I'm going to say it, he's horse collar tackled out of bounds, and there's no call. Here's the snap to Caleb. We run it again with Berge. He's going to come up the near sideline again, and he's pushed out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
So on that one play where that tackle, the horse collar, as Romel Reno was injured and hurt his arm.
Romel Reno. Now, folks, that wasn't called a horse tackle. I'm just calling it how it looked to me. But we just saw Berge just using his speed and cutting out the outside edges, and he's giving his team some gas here, giving him some life. And it looks like a timeout here for St. Joe, or excuse me, timeout for Leo. Timeout for the Leo Lions. They do not like what they're seeing from their defense here because their defense is just getting pushed back. And we look at now here's something new that we haven't seen all night, Paul. St. Joe's running game.
That surprised me. All night, the only offense coming from St. Joe's was coming from Caleb.
Now Berge, he is listed as a running back and defensive back. We haven't seen him in the backfield much tonight at all until now.
No, he's been more of a returner.
You wonder if he's been maybe kind of coach's secret weapon that he's looking for to kind of unleash at the right time, although it being 21-6, he might have waited too long.
Might have been a little late, but there is still 10 minutes left in the game. You never know.
No, we still have plenty of time here as the Leo offense is back onto the field, and they're getting set up here. St. Joe's offense. It looks like Caleb Hayden is communicating with Berge in the backfield.
It is only a two-possession game after all. So
you are correct. We have Zachary Ford one-on-one at the bottom of the screen, folks. Be on the lookout for that. And here's the snap. It's a handoff again to Berge, and he pushes up the middle, and he stopped a little bit less this time than what he's gotten in previous runs, but still a positive gain of 5, it looks like. 4 or 5 yards for him.
That tackle was made by Gabriel Sproul, 6'1", 300-pound junior.
That is a kid you do not want laying on top of you. Here's the shotgun again for Caleb. Here's the snap. Looks like he's looking downfield. He's going to go downfield. Who's he got? Zachary Ford. He tried to turn around and make a highlight play, but that ball was just flat out thrown in the wrong spot.
Zachary Ford was looking for a pass interference call, but that looked like good defense to me.
And you just do not want to be trying to force a ball into double coverage like we just saw. That's how you make mistakes. That's how you kill drives. And Caleb Hayden's got to take some of that leadership, and he's got to think things through before he gets excited and thinks he can make Sports Center in one play.
Yeah.
Here we go. Caleb Hayden out of the shotgun. Berge in the backfield. He's got it trips right, and here's the handoff to Berge. Berge goes upfield. He's past the 30. He's past the 25. He's taken down finally at the 22-yard line. And Berge is doing some amazing things for such a tiny guy on this field of big football players. He's not the biggest guy out here, but he is running the ball like a champion.
Looks like he just got the first down, too. Yep. He powered his way through it for a little guy.
First down, St. Joe's. We really hope it's not too little too late. As we look at the shotgun set again, single up top with Zachary. Caleb shot deep in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. He's looking back. He's got to get rid of it. Who's he going to? And the ball is thrown short. Once again, that pocket collapsed, and he couldn't do anything. He stayed in it too long. He couldn't roll out in time.
I see that they're actually trying to – they were running a bit of a hurry-up offense trying to surprise the Leo defense, but it did not look like it affected them.
No, it looked like the Leo defense was right on tempo with what they were doing and reacted accordingly.
And this the St. Joseph offensive line has to start actually protecting the quarterback. They've collapsed way too many times tonight.
Well, we've seen flashes of greatness with this running game that they've had these past couple plays. Let's see if they try and stick to that to punch one into the end zone. Here we go, shotgun set, one back, one up top, 3 receivers at the bottom. Caleb looks at the play, lifts his legs, calls for the snap, good snap, drops back in the pocket, and he's going for Zach Ford. He's going for Zach. Oh, and it's too high. He went up for it, but he couldn't hang on to it, and it looked like it went right between his hands and out the side of the end zone. Great effort by Ford, but that ball was just poorly thrown. As we look here, it's one-on-one coverage. He goes up, and Paul, he tried.
He did try. I'll give him credit. He got very high up for that ball.
Yeah, and he's not the tallest guy in this field. He's not. I believe he's listed at, see what Zach Ford's, 6'1", so, I mean, he's up there, but he's not the tallest guy out here. Here we go, 3rd and 10. Caleb Hayden trying to punch one in and get his team back in the running of this game. All alone himself in the backfield. Here's the snap, and he is absolutely pressured, but he's got open field in front of him. He's going to run to the 20. He's at the 15. Juke move, spin. He pushes forward. He's pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line, and that is what you want to see out of a leader quarterback, Paul.
100%. He fought not one, but 2 big defensive linemen to get through to that first down.
Absolute just guts by that kid to push. He saw the tackle was coming, and he said, I'm going to lower my shoulder, and you better hit me hard because I'm going to keep on going.
Does look like he might be maybe shaken up a little bit, but he looks fine.
Here he goes in the shotgun set. He's going to hand it off to Berge again. Berge up the middle. He's met with resistance, tried a spin move, and he's just swallowed up by that defensive front 7 of Leo Catholic. Looks like maybe a gain of 1, although I doubt it. Looks like I stand corrected. He got only back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
This offense, because most of them are playing both ways, they look gassed.
They do look gassed, but you know what? They're fighting for their lives here. They're trying to get in the playoffs.
100%.
Here we go, Caleb out of the shotgun. No handoff. He drops back. He feels pressure again. Can he evade it again? Can he make magic happen again? No, he takes a mean hit, and he is sat down and sacked at his own 21-yard line. Looks like he's sacked by Gabriel Sproul. Came up while he was tied up and just slapped that boy back on down to his backside.
Like a timeout here by St. Joseph's.
Timeout St. Joe's. It's going to be, timeout St. Joe's. You would think that could have been maybe a flag for a late hit because he was already wrapped up, but there was no whistle when he got tagged, so no flag. Refs have been pretty lenient on Leo Lions tonight. I will say that myself. But looks like we have 3rd and 20. Gives them a little more wiggle room to go deep, I suppose. But we gotta figure that Coach Petrowski is he's reaching deep into his pockets for a play on this one.
Well, no, maybe he'll pull out some trick plays like we've seen Leo Catholic do.
Yeah, you would hope so. At this point in the game, you've got to get on the board. It's 4th quarter, folks. 8 minutes left, and we still have a 15-point game here. So some magic needs to happen tonight for your St. Joe's Chargers to come away with a win. As we get back at the action on the field, we have Caleb setting up his offense. He still looks a little shaken up by that last hit, but he's going to give it a go here. We have trips down below, one runner in the backfield, and one-on-one coverage up top. And it looks like Leo Lions are playing for the pass. They've got their safeties and corners in a zone.
That's Zach Ford up top.
Here's the snap. Caleb's looking as he throws, and it's picked off. That's going to be a pick 6, ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes Caleb Haney looking to
Caleb
stop
trying
it.
to make a stop. Is he going to get him? I don't think so. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Leo Lions on a pick 6 by Caleb Hayden. And if that didn't seal the deal, Paul, I don't know what did.
He looks like he was trying to get to Jesse McDonald, and the defender just ran right into it.
As we look here on the replay, and he just picked him off and trundled all the way home. Caleb had a chance to dive and stop, but he looks like he just didn't want to commit to it, and that boy goes all the way for a pick 6.
We do have a penalty.
I believe the penalty might have come after the touchdown, so it's going to be 27-6. I'm not sure what the penalty was.
But it will count. The touchdown will count.
Touchdown will count.
There is a sideline violation.
Sideline violation.
Sideline violation, I wonder for what, though, exactly?
Most likely excessive celebration or something definitely happened on the Leo sideline there.
Could be that, or it could be a player interfered on the sideline as well. As we get ready for the extra point attempt by Leo Lions. Don't forget they've had a couple of them blocked here tonight by the special teams. One of the few bright spots here for St. Joe's Chargers.
This is definitely a game St. Joe's did not want to lose because they could have clinched a playoff berth with this win.
They could have, and it sounded to me like they have another opportunity, but after back-to-back absolute whoopings, you got to figure their confidence is pretty shaken up.
They definitely need to get at least one more score in to maybe build a little confidence going in.
Snap, high snap, and there's the extra point blocked again. The Chargers have done a nice job with the defensive
special teams
blocking the extra point, but they're saving little one-pointers but giving up the 6. So you got to wonder how much more can they take.
Probably not much more.
It is 27-6, folks. 7 minutes, 46 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. I'm here alongside Paul. I'm Ben, and we are happy to bring you this evening football game here at Elmhurst College, brought to you by Sportstown Chicago and the Illinois Media School. Myself and Paul are actually students there right now. Actually just started about a week and a half ago. We are thrilled to be in the booth after signing up so quick, and we really appreciate you guys listening, and feel free to shoot us your feedback on how you thought about the game, what you thought about the broadcast of the game tonight. It depends on who you're a fan of. I know you could have some feelings either way after the absolute smackdown you're witnessing tonight.
Definitely believe that looks like Bergie.
Bergie is back there to receive the kick.
Yes. Bergie, and it looks like they have McPhail back there as well. And
Bergie and McPhail in the two kick return set. We'll see if he can get it far. His past couple punts and kicks haven't been going that far, Paul.
No, they've gotten maybe to the 30-yard line.
Yeah. So we'll see if he actually puts some oomph into it, or if he just kind of lets it wail out there. And there's the kick. It's a very good kick, high kick going back. It looks like it's Bergie that has it. He's looking for some blockers. He moves upfield. He's met at the 30-yard line. He's got a blocker. He cuts outside. He goes to the 40. He's crossed the 50, and he's taken out of bounds at the 46, 47-yard line. Bergie still has some life in his team as he with a beautiful return, and he's taken out by Chris Reno there at the 47-yard line.
That was definitely something that St. Joe's needed. That's going to build a little bit of confidence.
A little bit can go a long way, Paul. That's definitely a highlight reel play for you, kid. Don't ever give up on your team, because you certainly have the heart.
Very interesting. They're actually taking Bergie off the field right now, because he was putting a huge
running
dent.
back. Yeah, he was. But they probably, after a run like that, they want to give him a couple seconds to breathe, because you saw how quickly they got out there for offense. 1st and 10, set up at the 47-yard line. Caleb's in the shotgun. 3 receivers down at the bottom, 1-on-1 up top, and 1 running back in the backfield. Caleb looks around, calls the play, snaps for the hike. A little bit of a wide snap. There's the throw. Looks like he's going deep to Ford, and Ford's got it! That's a catch, ladies and gentlemen. That's a beautiful catch by Zach Ford at the 23-yard line. No flag as the Chargers move up the field. Let's watch this again, and you can just see the speed out of Zach Ford, Paul.
Very, very fast, and it was actually, he went around one of his receivers to get open, and beautiful pass right in the breadbasket, exactly where it needed to be.
Exactly where it needs to be, and he dragged that foot, too, to maintain control as he went out of bounds. There's a handoff up the middle. It looks like, no, that is not Bergie. Bergie is still out. Can you see who that is there, Paul?
Yes, that was Timms.
Timms.
Zion Timms.
Zion Timms with the carry. Nice little carry up the gut.
I don't know.
Gain of 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. I'll bet my life savings they line up in the shotgun.
I do not believe they've taken one not from the shotgun under center.
Yeah, and you would be correct. That's why I bet all $2 of my life savings. And here we go. Here's the snap, and it's a wild snap again. Caleb, you got it. You got to get rid of it, kid, but he's going to run it upfield. He's going to have some gains on this, and he is shoved out of bounds. It looks like at the 20. Looks like they got him at the lost a yard on that. I don't know.
Looked like he might have accidentally stepped out of bounds, but
that looks like that as well.
But definitely better than losing 10 yards from that snap.
His snapper, his center is going to be getting a talking to after the game. He'll be running sprints for a couple of days, folks, because he has just been throwing that ball wherever he pleases. Here's Caleb with a wild snap again, but he careens it. Looks like he's going deep. Here's the jaw, and he breaks up an almost interception.
See any flags on a play for pass interference? No flags?
No flags. They let him play on that. Number 4 is a little concerned because he thought there was something going on
There's
that
definitely
one.
a little contact there.
Definitely some contact, but they let him play through it, Paul.
Very lenient refs today.
I'd have to say very lenient. Well, lenient on the side of Leo. They've been calling him left and right on St. Joe's.
St. Joe's have not gotten many calls for them tonight.
No, they have not. As we line up here again in the shotgun, you get 1-on-1 up top. Floating safety, looks like. Nope, I'm sorry. 2 receivers up top, 2 on bottom, one running back in the backfield. It's 4th and 9, folks. 4th and 9, and they have got to go for it here to have any chance to stay alive. Caleb looks. He maneuvers out of the pocket. He's going to throw it up there. He's looking for the scores. That's Zach Ford. Touchdown, St. Joe's Chargers. Zachary Ford went up and got it, and what a beautiful reception on a beautiful pass by Caleb.
Beautiful pass. Does not look like any flags on the field. Let's look at this replay. Beautiful pass, beautiful separation. Did he get that foot down? That is a close call. I think he got that foot down.
Looks to me like he got it down, Paul, and I guess they're going to have to go for 2.
100%.
100% sure. We're looking at a 27-12 score here. 6:35 left to play in the game in the 4th quarter. And St. Joe is going for 2. He's going to run it around the wide. He's got an avenue. Can he get back inside? He cuts him inside. Successful 2-point conversion. They're calling it a 2-point conversion, folks. He lost the football, but they're saying it counts. They're saying it counts, folks. We have a 27-14 game. Let's look at this. As he runs it upfield, jukes a defender, cuts back inside, and he clearly makes it across the pylon before he loses control of that ball.
Very close.
And it looks like it was looks like it was Ezekiel Boost right there on the 2-point conversion attempt.
Definitely.
All hard on that play. He did not
100%.
give up. He did not give up on that.
Definitely needed that. Looks like Coach Petrowski's talking to the refs about something.
Probably some of the missed calls they've had tonight. You can really hear live it up in here tonight as they finally make a game out of it. It's 27-14. It's not over, folks. They still are only down by 2 scores, and they are definitely going to try and get back into this one and get that playoff berth they've been seeking so desperately.
They definitely needed a 2-point conversion. I would not be surprised if we see an onside kick attempt.
I would not be surprised by that at all either, Paul. I definitely think it's almost predetermined that they're going to try that here tonight.
Leo's definitely expecting it. They are bringing a lot of people up toward the front. They are expecting it.
They are set up for it. They do have 2 deep back just in case they decide to change their mind. As we look here at the kicker is Zach. Kicker looks like it's Zach Ford. Zach Ford made it. St. Joe's calls timeout. Why would you do that? Look, they've probably had too many men on the field again. And
one more timeout.
They are almost down to 1 final timeout, still with so much time to play.
There's been a couple questionable timeout calls in this game.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been on the coaching staff with their confusion.
Leo in the first half, and now St. Joseph's in the second half.
Second half is more important than the first, you'd say, with the timeout, with the timeout control.
100%.
Gosh.
Especially
You got to figure these coaches got to get on the same page. They're definitely going to have some meetings after this game to try and figure out what exactly is going to go on and how they can better themselves after this performance tonight.
You definitely need those timeouts, though, especially down 2 touchdowns with only 6 minutes left to play. And if you were to get this onside kick, which they might do, but it is definitely a possibility, you're only going to have 1 timeout, and you can't use it because you got it for later in the game.
No, you were absolutely correct. They really terrible timeout management by St. Joe's, but we'll see if they can make some magic happen. Looks like they're lining up. We got a heavy front line from Leo Lions.
Still more confusion.
They are expecting some more confusion as well. They are expecting the onside kick. It looks like Zach Ford, who can do it all, call him a Swiss Army knife, catches touchdowns, does kickoffs. He's going to line up back there, and we're going to see what we have tonight, what we have for the kick attempt here. There's the whistle. Zach Ford lines up. And it's an onside attempt, dropped by a player. Who's got it? I saw some St. Joe's players get it.
There is a flag on the play, though.
I do see the flag, Paul. Let's see who's got it.
Might have been offside. It's offsides.
It might have been offsides. You're right. And there's a player down at the bottom of the pile. It looks like a Leo Lions player. He's feeling some pain down there.
Penalty on St. Joe's on the kickoff.
Offsides on St. Joe's. Wow.
That is a huge blow.
Huge blow.
Brian Howard came up limping from the Leo Catholic High School. They came up limping because he was at the bottom of the pile.
Did you see who was offsides on our part?
I believe that was Bergie.
Bergie was offside. Well, that speed can sometimes get into trouble. He probably got a little excited on that one.
Looks like they're going to get another chance.
Another chance. Let's see. Are they gonna look for magic twice? That's the That's the question here, Paul.
But now Leo definitely 100% knows what they're doing.
You are correct. Let's see what's going on here. There's the attempt, and it's recovered by the Leo Lions.
Very interesting. The Leo Lions were back 5 yards more than what they needed to be. So there was 5 yards of opportunity for St. Joseph's to kick it there, but they kicked it too much.
That is very interesting indeed that they didn't take advantage of that clear mistake by the Leo Lions. I'd like to welcome you all again to the broadcast. Paul, tell us what's going through the mind of the Chargers right now.
Right now, they are just devastated that they could not get that onside kick, and they probably didn't realize they missed an opportunity there.
They probably let it slip right past their minds, just like they let that opportunity slip past their fingers. Here we go. Defensive front seven's going to make a push towards, and they're running. There's a flag on the play. As he runs it upfield, he's past the 40. He's got a blocker. He runs up the far sideline, past the 20, and he's shoved out of bounds. Looks like the 14-yard line, but it looks like there's going to be a flag well in the backfield. Looks like there could be a hold, as it was Antoine Wheeler Jr. again with that big run. And that penalty is against Leo. It's a hold, looks like, as he makes the announcement at the center of the field. False start on the offense. That'll cost him 5 yards. So we get 1st and 15 for Leo, and that really saved the St. Joe's Chargers from being in hot water.
Very surprised they actually let that play keep going after the false start. Normally you hear some whistles and the play will stop.
I think it was just the timing, Paul. I think the timing, the ref called it so late that they kind of let the play develop rather than have somebody stop, not hear the whistle, and get completely destroyed by a tackle or a hit. So you hear the chance of let's go defense. These fans have not given up on their Chargers. 1st and 15, out of the shotgun, hands it off again to Wheeler Jr., and he breaks a tackle in the backfield. Can't break anymore, though, and he is shoved farther in back, but he breaks a couple, and he bounces outside, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. These defenders have been having trouble wrapping up players all night, Paul.
A lot of them are just going for the big hits. They need to just wrap up. Technical football is what they need to start playing.
Absolutely correct on that. Technical football. Wrap them up by the legs, and they can't run away from it. Absolutely correct, Paul.
And
2nd and 11, I believe, is the call because of the gain on the. He's almost, 2nd and 11. He almost made it back to the original line of scrimmage.
And Antoine Wheeler has just been powering through a lot of these tackles and just been running through the defense today.
He really has, although in the 3rd quarter we did see him get stopped up a little bit, but it appears that the break between quarters might have re-energized him because he's been pounding the ball here at the early stages of the early and mid stages of the 4th. Here goes the snap and the handoff again, although it's not to Wheeler, it's to somebody else. I didn't see him, and he almost got a 1st down.
So the fullback, Cassius Kearns Jr.
Kearns Jr. with a powerful run picks up about 6, it looks like, 6 or 7, and that's going to make it a close 3rd down, 3rd and 1. And how you go from 1st and 15 to 3rd and 1, you can't be disappointed at that.
No, you cannot.
9-yard gain will bring up 3rd and 2.
10-yard gain, I'm sorry, on that. Let's see what we have here. They're probably going to just run it. They're looking to eat that clock.
100%.
They are playing smart football right now and eating that clock. St. Joe's has 1 timeout left thanks to shoddy coaching and poor player management. So they're trying to eat that clock up and whittle this game away before St. Joe's can come back. Shotgun set, here's the snap, and his handoff again. Wheeler Jr. breaks it up the sideline, and he will not get a 1st down. Defense came through and said, not today.
So it looks like with the punt line, they're going to get around the punt. They should be punting because I don't believe that the kicker, Antoine Walker, will have enough. Antoine Walker will be punting. So they'll probably get around 3:40 left on the clock with only 1 timeout.
Roughly, yeah. Although this being high school ball, there is no play clock, so or none that we can see. So we're going to see how much they're going to try and whittle down. I'm watching the game clock tick down, and they're not even out of the huddle yet, and it's already 3:45 left. 3:46, 3:45. Here we go.
Very, very smart of letting this clock turn as much as you can.
And it looks like they are going to do the turnover on downs. What is it? 4th and 5. And they're still going to go for it. And Delay a game it is. They took the hit. They wanted to whittle that clock down. You're absolutely right, Paul.
Very smart.
So now you got to figure they bring out the punt team.
100%.
And they try and pin him deep. We got Burgee going deep, back for the punt return, or the attempted punt return.
Let's see. I mean, he did have a really good kick return earlier in the game. So let's see if maybe he can transfer it to a punt return.
No, that he did. He's definitely got the speed. Can't deny him that. He's definitely got the speed, and he's got the heart. That kid's not that big, and he's out there playing with everything he's got, trying to get his team a playoff berth.
It's been one of the bright spots for St. Joseph's.
One of the few bright spots. You are correct on that. Here's the snap. High snap, and here's the punt. A better punt than earlier, but still a little short. Looks like it's going to drop and go out at about the 28-yard line, 27, 28-yard line. So St. Joe still has a chance. They need to definitely score on this drive, though. They will not take a field goal. They haven't all season. They need an absolute touchdown on this drive.
Very smart by Leo, kicking it out of bounds, not risking a return from Berge. Actually, he's been pretty good. And it looks like Berge is going to be in at running back.
That agreed. Let's take a notice of this. Caleb Hayden's out of the game, folks. That's number 7 back there. That is Ezekiel Boos.
Looks like he might be hurt.
Either he's hurt or coach just didn't really trust him anymore with this situation that we got going on. This is Ezekiel Boos who ran it in on the 2-point conversion we saw, so we know he's mobile, although we don't know what kind of arm this kid has. 4 wide receivers set. There's a snap. Again, a shoddy snap. There's Burgee out of the backfield. He's trying to turn it upfield. He makes one defender miss. He turns it up the sideline. Looks like a minimal. There looks like a gain of about 4. So
very smart getting out of bounds.
Very smart. Stops the clock. Gives your offense a chance to reset and breathe. And Paul, can you do me a favor real quick? Can you look down the sideline and see if you see Caleb at all anywhere?
I'm not seeing him on the sideline right now.
I am not either. I do not see good old number 9, so he may be getting looked at by a medical staff. I'm not sure.
He's definitely not. He's not even on the table be looked at. He might have been.
Here's the snap to Ezekiel Boos. Handoff again up the middle. Burgee makes one miss, and he reaches forward. Looks like he's got a first down for your Chargers here tonight. Clock's still ticking, though. Be aware that clock's ticking. Or no, first down, they stopped the clock. I apologize. First down, they have stopped the clock.
Definitely looks like he was taken to the locker room.
And the clock is running again. Coming up here on 3 minutes left. Ezekiel Boos trying to be a hero. He's trying to lead his Chargers to a comeback victory after being down all night to this Leo Lions football team. Here's the snap. Good snap finally for him. Drops back in the pocket. He's going to throw it up to Burgee. And Burgee actually breaks up in the interception attempt there on the near sideline. That ball was almost picked, although he might have been carried out of bounds if he had caught it. As we look at this again, we see that ball go up, and the defender attempt to try and make a play on it, but Burgee pops it out of his hands. One quick note, I'll tell you right now, this kid does not have an arm like Caleb.
No, does not. I do not know what happened to.
And now is going to be a bad time for your running game to show, because unless you can house it on one play, you're going to have to rely on chunks and chunks of yardage from your running game, and you do not have the clock management left for that. Here's the snap. Ezekiel Boos drops back in the pocket. He's feeling the pressure, but he rolls out the far sideline. He tries to chuck it up, and his receiver doesn't see it. Zach Ford had it, and he dropped it. A valiant effort by Zachary Ford. That kid is definitely on my list of players of the game. He has tried and tried again for his team, including that onside kick that they almost recovered.
100%. He was the kicker, and he did not kick very often, but he did what he had to do to try and get that.
And he did have that beautiful touchdown reception, the last score that St. Joe's had a couple minutes ago. So here we go. Looking at 2 minutes, 38 seconds left. Ezekiel out of the shotgun, 3rd and 10. 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. What are you going to do, kid? Here's the snap again. A crappy snap. He's going to throw it again. He's got Zachary Ford. Zachary Ford up the middle of the field, down at his own 35. Or excuse me, down at the 35 of the Leo Lions. This kid is putting all the weight on his shoulders and saying, give it to me, coach. I can carry it. But uh-oh, look up. He's coming up a little gimpy. He's limping a little bit. We're going to see what's going on with him on the sideline. Paul, keep an eye out on him on the sideline. Trainer's going to look at him.
We have an injured Leo
I see
Lion.
that as well, too, now. Yes, it looks like he's grabbing his left ankle calf area.
All right, I'll take, if you want to keep an eye on that Leo Catholic player, I'll keep looking at Ford, see if he's hurt.
That Leo Catholic player, he is in some pain, folks. We are going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back with the final of this game here coming up soon.
I want to have a job in something I love. I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today.
What originally brought me to the Illinois Media School was my love for sports radio. In high school, I became a huge 670 The Score fan and wanted to be part of sports radio. So after trying a couple other things and I'm not really being what I wanted to do, I found my passion for media and especially sports radio at the Illinois Media School. What I enjoy is finding like-minded people like myself that have a passion for the media industry and are willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals and be what they want to be.
We welcome you back to the fourth quarter of this game between Leo Lions and St. Joe's Chargers. A couple players injured. Looked like Chris Reno on the Leo Lions side, and Zachary Ford, unfortunately, was limping around here on the sideline for the St. Joe's Chargers. He's been a key piece tonight. Here's the snap to Ezekiel Boos. He hands it off to Bergie. Bergie cuts up the sideline. He's got a hole. He's got speed as he bursts through, and he's taken out of bounds. Looks like at the 19-yard line. 19-yard line. Key part of that play, Paul. He got out of bounds.
100%. If he did not get out of bounds there, they would have lost at least another 19 seconds.
All right, here we go. 2:19 to play. Shotgun snap. Boosh looking on the field. One running back, it's Bergie. Here's the snap and the throw. It's going to be to Malik. Malik's going to take it. He says, get off me. And he's taken down at the 15-yard line. Inbounds. There is a flag on the play. There is a flag on the play, so clock's going to stop because of the flag. But if it's on St. Joe's, it's definitely going to put them in a bit of a bind.
Does look like Ford. Sorry, Ford is going to be heading back in the game. He's got his helmet on. He's at the front of his team there by his coach. It looks like he's ready to come back in.
Yeah, you probably have to tie that kid down and tell him if you told him he's not playing. He's anxious to get out there and provide for his team.
Looks like that penalty was on St. Joe.
St. Joe's probably, looks like a holding penalty. 1st and 20, although that did stop the clock for him. Stop the clock for him. 1st and 20. Ezekiel Boos lines up. Shotgun set, 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, 1 up top. Here's the snap. He drops back in the pocket. He's got good protection. He lets it loose toward the sideline. Zachary Ford, and where's the flag on that? He was being held the entire time. I think I see it. I think I see a flag. I'm not sure. It's either a flag or a shoe.
That was a flag.
That is a flag. That's got to be defensive pass interference.
He was pushed out of bounds.
He was pushed out of bounds, and he was getting held onto. Let's see what the call is here from the refs. They gather amongst themselves and talk it over. They're trying to see what's going on here. Waiting to see what the call is. The senior referee walks to the front of the field. Pass interference on defense. So they're going to get the ball. That's a 15-yarder. Remember, NFL is only spot of the foul, folks, so that's a 15-yarder, but that's a 1st down. And that, again, clock is stopped, so they've got some time here. They've got some time to play with.
Definitely, if they do score, they're definitely going to need to get an onside kick.
They're going to have to get an onside kick, and you got to figure, too, if they go for 2 points, they got to get it in, because if they don't get the 2 points conversion, they are definitely screwed. Ezekiel Boos in the shotgun, trips receivers at the bottom, one running back in the backfield, one-on-one coverage up top. You might want to look up top. Here's a pitch to Bergie. Bergie's going to cut inside. He makes one tackler miss, and he's taken down at about the 11-yard line.
From my angle, that did look like a horse collar tackle, but the refs are just letting it go.
Paul, before the snap on that play, we saw one-on-one coverage with no safety help at the top of the field. You got to figure as a quarterback, recognize that defensive coverage and switch audible to a pass so you can take advantage of that.
That's because Ezekiel Boos he's a freshman, so he doesn't have as much experience as Caleb Hayden.
Very true, very true. They are missing the presence of Caleb. Here's the snap to Ezekiel. High snap. A toss again to Burgee. Burgee cuts back inside, and he is met with a ferocious tackle at the 10-yard line. And, folks, the clock is winding down, and St. Joe's has one timeout left, and they are running simple running plays, which is not what you want to do in this situation.
No, you should be passing the ball.
You have to be passing the ball, and they are letting the clock run down, folks. It's 55 seconds left in the game, and you got kids walking around. And it looks like
They're calling their final
they took
timeout.
yep, you're absolutely right, Paul. They took their final timeout, but how much time did they waste
At least
calling those running plays
15 seconds,
and being slow to get back to the line of scrimmage?
15 to 20 seconds.
I'm sorry, this coaching staff is definitely going to have to take a look at themselves and look at the film of this game and highlight in big old Sharpie what they did wrong, because players can only do so much. It's up to them to manage, and they've done a poor job of managing tonight.
Will be some coaching meetings later on.
So we look here at the timeout that's going down on the field, and this is Paul, I'm Ben. We look down at the timeout that's going down on the field. You got to figure that the night's over for St. Joe's. They got 53 seconds left, and they have to score twice. We're going to have to need to see a real miracle for them to make it through.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna need to score in one play here.
They have to score in one play, and you got to figure it's got to be a pass. It has to be a pass, folks. They can't run the ball anymore. Leo Lions have sniffed that out all night, except for a select few times, and especially this last series. They are not having it with the run. They are stuffing that behind the line of scrimmage. So you got to get some pass plays off.
And we are still trying to figure out what happened to Caleb Hayden.
Caleb Hayden left a couple of minutes at the beginning of this drive, actually, and we do not know where he went, what happened to him, what his injury status is. So you see Ezekiel Boost, number 7, out of the shotgun set. Trip receivers at the bottom of the screen. Here's the snap. He drops back. He rolls out. He's being chased, though. He's got to make something happen. He throws it up to the end zone. It's deflected, and nobody got it. But that's the type of pass you need to see to get in there quickly. Now we're looking at 44.1 seconds left in the game. Still time. It's not over until the clock reads 0-0-0, but you have to manage it properly. And the passing plays are probably what they should have been doing all along.
Yeah. 4th and 1, you're going to need to get in the end zone here.
Have to. Absolutely have to. 4th and 1, unless, you got to figure, unless they go for the first down and spike it. That is an option as well, too. But you just don't know. You just don't know what this team's going to do tonight. I thought they were going to come out. The coach seemed fired up, and they were put in a hole very quickly, and they've only been able to chip away so much. 4th and 1, trying to get into the playoffs. Out of the shotgun snap, Ezekiel Boost. One receiver, one-on-one coverage up top. Here's the snap and the handoff to Burgee. Where's Burgee going? Did he get in?
Did not get it.
He is stopped at the 3-yard line, it looks like.
He did get a first down, so the clock does
He did get
stop.
the first down, so the clock does stop at 37.6 seconds. So you got to spike it right here. Unless you're going to try and score, you have to spike it right here. Clock's running. Ezekiel Boost, that clock's running. Here's the snap. He's going to hand it up to Burgee. Burgee cuts it in. And did he make it?
He got
That's
in.
a touchdown Chargers by Burgee. Finally, all that hard work pays off, and he gets in the end zone. And here we go, folks. This has turned into a ball game once again. You got to figure, though, that clock's at 29.7 seconds. It's getting tight.
This might be a little too late.
As we see the replay there, Burgee just snuck in past the defensive line. And there, once again, they're going for 2 points, folks. And if they don't make it, then
They're going to need to get a quick score and then a 2-point conversion to tie.
exactly. You were absolutely correct.
Looks like there's
Or actually, no, it'll take a 1-point conversion to tie if they don't get it here. Oh, and they are going for the kick. Here's the kick, and it's up. It is good. They finally take the 1-point conversion, and all they need now is a touchdown to tie it. So here we go, folks. You asked for a classic. It's right in front of you. Leo Lions, 27. St. Joe's Chargers, 21. 29 seconds left in the game. These St. Joe's Chargers, I'll tell you what, they haven't given up.
no, they have none. And it actually looked like that field goal kick may have been tipped. And I definitely believe that they're definitely going for an onside here.
You have to in this situation, because if you don't, you have one. They have one more timeout or none? I think they have none.
They have
Yeah.
none
They
timeout.
have no more timeouts after this, so they have to get this ball back. If they don't, it's going to be game over. And it looks like the coach is talking to his players on the sideline. I do believe, I'm not familiar with who that is, actually. I don't see him on our sheet. Number 34, He's not there, but definitely a new insert in the game. You see Zachary Ford's out there again, still limping around a little bit. And you know what, Paul? Leo knows it's coming.
100%.
Leo knows that it's going to be an onside kick and that they have to get this ball.
I would not be surprised to see a majority of the Leo Lions up towards the front of the line.
Oh, absolutely. I would think that's a given at this point, Paul. I think they are definitely going to see that. Timeout taken by Leo. So both teams out of timeouts now.
So this is very interesting. This actually could help the St. Joe's here. They do get a little timeout, so they do have a little time to rest.
You're absolutely right. They do get a breather, and they get a chance to kind of formulate a play and figure out what's going to happen, what's going to go on, and hopefully everybody in here has got their fingers crossed that they're going to get back into this game, or get the ball back, rather, and try and tie this game, and if not, take the lead. Again, these playoff hopes are very much alive in the minds of the St. Joe's Chargers. They win tonight somehow, then they're into that CCL, then they're in if they win. A daunting task, to say the least, though. They need a miracle, and that miracle is going to try and appear in the form of an onside kick.
Looks like only one player back for the Leo Lions.
One player back. Again, I'm Ben Brackley. This is Paul Pletcher beside me. We're here at Elmhurst College, along with Illinois Media School and Sportstown Chicago. We're bringing you this game live between the St. Joe's Chargers and the Leo Lions. 29 seconds left. St. Joe's 21, Leo Lions 27. St. Joe's going to attempt an onside kick here and hope for some magic. A hush, you hear, falls across the stadium. Everyone's breath is kind of held here. There's the whistle, and here's the attempt of the onside kick. It's a good onside attempt, and it's recovered by Leo Lions. And you got to figure that's ball game, folks.
That is your game, unless there's some bad snap, but that's going to be very rare when you do a player kneel.
Very, very rare. You'd think that they're going to do a quarterback kneel in this scenario. All it's going to take is one, and that's just going to run out the clock for you. St. John's fought. You got to give them that. They fought back. We were kind of joking up here in the booth when they were down 27-6 about the situation, but they did show heart, and they did come back. And you hate to see it happen like this, but that fight on the opposite field sideline definitely fired them up. Definitely stirred them up, Paul.
They got fired up a little too late.
A little bit too late. I do agree with that. I do agree 100% with that. And again, poor clock management. There's the kneel.
I believe that is the first play from under center.
That is. You are correct, Paul. That is the very first play. I didn't bet my life savings on it this time. I kind of saw it coming. All $250 of it.
So I'm out $250.
You're out $2.50, brother. I'm sorry. Next time. We'll get them next time.
Right.
And these teams, they're going to shake hands at the center of the field. That's your final. It's going to be your final here in a second. Leo Lions, Catholic School, 27. St. Joe's Chargers, 21. Again, here at Elmhurst Stadium, Elmhurst College. And we're with Sportstown Chicago, Illinois Media School. And what are some of the highlights that you saw tonight?
Definitely everything that Douglas did tonight.
Everything that Douglas. I would have to agree. Keyshawn Douglas, guys, he was a burner tonight. He was killing at receiving, and he was killing at returning, and he could not be stopped by the opposition. I will also say, too, as well, that their running back, Antoine Wheeler Jr., he started off the game injured, but he came back into it, and he made his presence felt.
Yes, he did. We were expecting him to not even play tonight because that's what we had.
That's the report that we had at the beginning of the game. You are correct. But on the home side of the ball, on the St. John's side of the ball, I'm going to tip my hat to Amir Burgi. He showed up with so much heart in the second half. And Zachary Ford absolutely played his tail off tonight. He was, without a shadow of a doubt, he was attempting to take that team on by himself and make magic happen with his receptions and with his kicking skills as well.
100%. I would like to give one special shout out really quick to Caleb Hayden, even though he did get hurt, we believe, because we still don't see him. He might have gone in the locker room. But until he got hurt, he was playing very well.
He really was, Paul. And again, thanks again to the Sportstown Chicago Broadcast Illinois Media School. I'm Ben Brackley. Beside me is Paul Pletcher, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on this broadcast. Again, your final score is the Leo Lions 27, St. Joe's Chargers 21.